This week on TGC News, a Mark 47 copy from PSA, the top 3 fighting shotguns, and a lawsuit that everybody needs to calm down about until it happens. If you absolutely must reload every spent case you see, then check out AmmoBot, offering one of the most simple and cost-effective ways to automate your Dillon 1050 with no need to worry about complex setup or operation. Capable of running at over 2,000 rounds per hour, this thing will allow your reloading hobby to get serious. To learn more, click the link in the description to head over to ammobot.us. Welcome back. My name is John Patton, and some of the TGC swag that I announced just a couple weeks ago is almost sold out. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go to patriotpatch.co/TGC and pre-order yours right now. Now, this week's first story is about a copycat. We see this kind of stuff fairly often in the gun industry. One company makes something revolutionary, and others try to follow suit by either licensing parts or straight up ripping people off with blatant copies. I'm not sure where this new KS-47 from Palmetto State Armory falls into that mix, but it bears a striking resemblance to the CMMG Mark 47 Mutant. The Mutant is special because it takes the basic layout of the AR-15 and allows it to accept AK-47 magazines. They also feature a few other trick parts like a larger bolt and larger magazine releases, but it's still fairly similar to an AR-15. This PSA KS-47 appears to literally be the same thing with a forward assist and a different rail. It really looks identical. And some of you might be saying, John, that is a total ripoff. Where does PSA get off doing something like that? Well, this is all speculation, but I'm betting that CMMG is making that gun for them. For those of you that are unaware, manufacturers making lowers and other parts for each other is not uncommon, and it's often referred to as variance work because it's done under an ATF variance to manufacture parts for someone else with the serialized parts. But getting back to the PSA rifle, I find it very interesting because the price point is right at $1,000. The CMMG rifles are coming in at $1,500 to $1,900, all MSRP of course, but that is a drastic difference between the two. And again, this is speculation, but I presume they're saving money on the PSA version with a cheaper barrel, not necessarily worse, just cheaper, and lower quality rails and other parts and whatnot. And although for whatever reason both companies still think Keymod was a good call, lol, I would personally buy the PSA over the CMMG any day of the week. That is, assuming I'm right about the speculations and the gun actually works. I just think it's really interesting to show people that this is commonplace, and we're going to keep seeing it the more the firearms industry grows. And in the sky is not falling news, a Connecticut judge has ruled that a lawsuit may continue against Remington Arms, parent company of Bushmaster, as well as Cam4, the distributor, and Riverview Sales, a gun store, for selling the AR-15 that was used in the Sandy Hook shooting in December of 2012. The defense attorneys had previously tried to have the case dismissed based on some federal laws, but according to the court's opinion, and I gotta thank my buddy Adam Kraut from Firearms Industry Consulting Group here for helping me break this down because I don't speak lawyer. According to the opinion, essentially the defense, that's Remington and all the others on the gun side, had two methods of getting the case thrown out. In Connecticut, trying to have the case dismissed, which is what they did, based on this federal law that they were using, essentially challenges whether or not the court has the jurisdiction to hear that case and decide the outcome, which they do, so choosing that move to have the case dismissed was the incorrect methodology here. That being said, the other way to do this would have been a move to strike the case, which presumably challenges the factual insufficiency within the case regarding the law. Can you tell Kraut, help me figure out a way to say this? Good Lord, this crap is complex. The law that we're citing here is the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. And if your head hasn't exploded yet, then I'll try to summarize. Essentially, the defense went about things the wrong way, and this is merely procedural crap that everyone is freaking out about, saying, oh my God, they're going to let this continue. It shouldn't continue. This is Connecticut law. It's stupid. We already know that's the case based on their magazine laws. Now, the The question I have, and Adam couldn't answer because he doesn't practice law in Connecticut, is whether or not the defense can come back with a motion to strike and get this case truly thrown out. The long and short of it is that right now, everyone needs to calm down because this is not a big deal yet. Now, to bring back a segment that I did in some of the earlier episodes of TGC News called Top Guns. It's a segment where I pick my top 3 guns in a specific category, and this week's category is semi-auto fighting shotguns. Let's do this. Coming in at number 3, this is going to be a Chevy versus Ford argument, I'm sure. The Benelli M4. While it is incredibly versatile with its gas assist operating system that allows it to shoot everything from really heavy hunting loads and that kind of stuff to less lethal ammo, which is very soft and has very little gas volume, and it comes in a ton of different configurations, the recoil impulse on all Benellis, in my opinion, is way too high, especially in comparison to the other 2 shotguns on this list. Number 2, a gun that has taken way too long to hit the market in any real quantity, the Foss Origin 12. While it has an incredible operating system and the fastest cyclic rate / lowest recoil impulse I've ever seen on a semi-auto shotgun, it's super expensive and they're not readily available. I really wish these were more common and these guys were churning them out a lot faster. I know they're going as fast as they can because that shotgun is just that good. It is so freaking good. And now, at number 1, this may come as no shock to some of you that really know me well, the Beretta 1301. They use the same gas system as my treasured A400 series, and they just shoot so freaking well. It's a natural thing, and I absolutely think it trumps all other semi-auto fighting shotguns. The kicker here is that they can be had for under $1,000, which absolutely destroys the other 2 guns on the list. I'd personally recommend the competition version of the 1301 with the vented rib as opposed to the tactical version because I think rifle sights on a shotgun is stupid, but either way you're gonna win. And now that I'm sure some of you shotgun guys are upset with me for not putting the guns in your order, I want you to list your top 3 semi-auto fighting shotguns down in the comment. And now be sure to stick around until after the break for this week's Friendly Fire. This week's Friendly Fire question caused a good amount of discussion on the Facebook page yesterday. It's from Vincent Eddings, and he says, there are more than 80 million gun owners in the U.S. and only 5 million NRA members. Why is that? I think that's a great question, but I don't think you're going to like my answer. And NRA, if you're watching, listen up. The NRA is one of the most important organizations for our rights in the United States. Both the NRA and the lesser known and understood NRA ILA, which is the side that matters most when it comes to rights, they're both incredibly important. But I have never seen an organization that begs for more money than the NRA. Years ago, when I first joined, I got a packet in the mail about a month after I joined, 1 month, asking me to renew my membership for the next year. I had already joined for a year, and a month later they wanted me to renew for another year. And on top of that, the packet that I got in the mail was full of other companies' advertisements, which I guarantee were paid for. That type of behavior is ridiculous. And they do that to everyone. It's not just me. I once heard a story about them calling someone at 5 a.m. to ask for money. WTF NRA? What the hell is going on there? They really need to get schooled on 2016 marketing and community building instead of trying to guilt people or just repeatedly ask them for money. That being said, I do plan on actually buying a life membership at this year's NRA annual meeting because I heard that they don't bug the lifers for money like they do with everyone else. I want to be a part of things, but good Lord, get yourselves together. That is why people don't join the NRA. Once you do, you just get abused with junk. It's ridiculous. My friendly fire question to you guys, how many of you are hunters? I'm leaving on Sunday for an epic hunting trip down to Texas, and I want to hear how many of you hunt and what type of hunting do you do. Let me know down in the comments. And if you want your question answered right here on TGC News, you can post that on Facebook.com/TheGunCollective. You can send it to me on Snapchat or post it on Instagram, and be sure to tag me. And unfortunately, guys, that is it for this week's show. If you enjoyed the episode, hit like and share it with your friends. If you didn't, let me know down in the comments so we can talk about it. Do not forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss a single week of the show. And as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon. The shirts worn in today's episode of TGC News were provided by Patriot Patch Company. Click the link in the description to learn more.